working. Let's go, baby. Bomb arrows to the rescue. Ha! No way. Ah! No! Oh, that assist, baby! No! Don't touch him. No! You... What did I do? That's an accident. Freaking Beetle. I got the triple collapse! Oh! Ah! Oh, Dinell, go to the fire thing. It teleports us.
I want my money back.
I trusted you! Trombone. This one is trombone. Yo, I got it! Yes! Let's go! Yeah! 24 hours done. 24 hours finished. Oh, time to beat. 23 hours, 28 minutes. Oh my god! We did it! We did it! Oh my god! I couldn't have done it without you guys.
What the fuck up? Holy shit!
Wait, it went through? I gave him 50 bucks. First time in history. Yo, mega early stream. True. You got first though. Yeah, I won't be able to stream later tonight, and I want to keep the daily streams going. I don't want to miss a day this month just because. So that's why I'm early. Yeah. So we're gonna play some Mario, we're gonna chill, we're gonna talk, and then I'm gonna leave. So it should be a shortish stream. We might do like 1 or 2 runs. But, you know, hopefully that's enough. Get a PB, baby. Let me first see I want to see if the thing is working. So I played a bit off stream. Have you gotten new PB? Yesterday. Oh, it's working now. You see, it's really weird, but it's working now. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I don't get it. See, it's working now. I got a new PB. Oh, you don't see it actually. I got a new PB yesterday, I think. There we go. There we go. Horizon is so weird. Really? I was gonna ask you about that. I saw on Twitter someone put a picture of it. It looked fun. You think it's weird? Why do you say weird? That's weird to hear, actually. It looks beautiful, but like the gameplay, I don't know. Oh, really? Breath of the Wild has me spoiled. I have captions on it. It said KKK for some reason. That was weird. That's fair enough. Not the KKK part. Breath of the Wild is very chill. Yeah, if I would have to pick one game to play, I would pick Breath of the Wild over Horizon. But Horizon looks so much more beautiful now. Or is it like Breath of the Wild is beautiful enough that you don't really care? Okay, I guess we'll get started right. Look at that 21-11, bro. We got so many golds yesterday, I think. I think it was yesterday. Let me make sure there's no stars here. Super simple yet complex. Well, Horizon is super complex. I did like half. I played like half yesterday off stream, and then I was doing bad and I stopped. It's me, Mario. In terms of battles. Yeah, Horizon is definitely more complex. Even the original Horizon. But like Breath of the Wild, if you try to speedrun, it's more complex, obviously. But obviously that's different. Breath of the Wild was flexible-ish enough to like have fun. I still think Genshin Impact is one of does some things the best. Just having different characters to play is so cool, and being able to like traverse quickly in the world map is fun. Again, Breath of the Wild, climbing mountains is kind of hard. Same in Horizon, you don't even have that, but in some ways I do miss Genshin sometimes. What's up, Dalton? How you doing? Crazy early stream, I know. Let's go! I almost opened the wrong door. Oh, you can climb mountains in Horizon 2? Is it easy to climb, or is it like a little bit like annoying? How you doing, Dalton? This is gonna be a short stream today, but today's day has been off to a bad start. Aw, that sucks. I wanted to press my aw button, but I'm on the wrong thing to press it. Hey, at least it'll be better now because you'll see me rage, and it'll make you feel better. What the? What are you doing? I was doing backflips. I'm so bad at this game. Oh my! I was trying to add a marker and... Done, bro. That was so bad. The lack to skip helps though. It's just like semi-Seth paths. It's not as open as Breath of the Wild. What's semi-Seth paths? Semi-set paths? What does that mean? I tried to do all this fancy stuff and it didn't do anything. Map in Horizon 2 is way bigger. Really? Oh, that seems cool. Hey, the day's not over, Dalton. So it could still turn out awesome. It's gotta, you know. But yeah, when the day starts bad, it's kind of hard to make the rest of the day good. It's easier after you go to sleep. You could be like, hey, yesterday was a bad day, but today is another day. But if it was in the morning, it's kind of harder. But you could still do it. Semi-set, as in there's a set direction with branching paths, but lead to the same path. Oh. That's actually interesting. Let's go. That actually is kind of annoying. I don't know, like, depending on the type of person you are, that could be very annoying or like fun, right? Because if you feel like you want to explore different areas, like if you have this urge to be a perfectionist and explore every route, but each route leads to the same outcome, it's like, is it really worth it? Wait, why did I go for that star? That was weird. I completely forgot about cannonless. That might be good. Yes! I'm gonna start speedrunning again. Let's go! In Breath of the Wild, you can get anywhere from any direction, and you run into walls. You can get anywhere from any direct. Yeah, Breath of the Wild is definitely more like an open RPG world, it feels like. I would say 70 star, but do whichever one you would like to do. Or 16 stars, so we could race. That would be cool. Maybe race tomorrow, though, because today not going to be streaming for too long. But tomorrow we're going to have a collab stream also, so that should be a collab thing. Collab stream before going into Mario. You know, we only have a week left to get sub 20, which is kind of crazy. The past week I haven't been playing as much as I would like to. I was lazy for like 2 days, and then the rest of the week I was just concentrating on other stuff, I guess. I don't know. So this next week I'm going to have to work extra hard on everything. Damn it. I was like, did I really make that? And I didn't. I'm trying to practice BLJs. Always a good thing to try to practice that, so good idea. Aha! What the hell was that? I tried to be quick and I was quickly screwed. 25-hour stream? Yeah, so I think if I don't get sub 20 by the like last day or by the, you know, in a while. What's up, Chris? How you doing? If I don't get sub 20 in like when there's 1 day left, I think I might just do like a stream until I get sub 20. So it might be even more than 24-hour stream. But we'll see. Oh, that felt bad. Nice BPT. I always forget what BPT means. Beats per time? I always forget. Bro, you got this. Yeah, today's stream is gonna be a little like a short stream, so I'm not expecting, you know, personal best. Just want to chill with y'all and keep my monthly streak going, daily streak going on streaming. I don't know how to do them the fastest. It takes me to do them is 25 minutes. Have to use a BLJ anywhere cheat. Oh. Yeah, you have to get the rhythm of it. It does take a lot of practice. Like, even I get it sometimes, but not all the time. Okay, that was okay. I think you'll get really close if you don't let it get to you. I think you are 1000% right. I think letting things get to me usually screws things up for me, especially for, you know, challenges like this. I'm like a baby. I'm a baby. How you doing though, Chris? Kurisu. Kurisu-chan. Dineru-chan. Dinelle, do you study Japanese anymore? Or you've kind of stopped doing that? Let's go. School starts tomorrow. Let's go. I don't at all. Do you? Ooh, minus 0.0. That's actually funny. I don't really study Japanese anymore. No. I speak it in the house sometimes. Because I want attention or something. I don't know. I'm like a weirdo at home sometimes, just randomly. So sometimes I'll just speak Japanese like to myself, and my family will be like, "Oh my god," because I feel like a cool kid, knowing a language no one else in the house knows. But other than that, not really. Maybe in on stream sometimes. But been wanting to learn Chinese. Oh. Damn it, I missed. Hey, High King of all horses, welcome back. You are a weeb? Then you will like being here because I went to Japan for 2 years and I taught English. But I'm not a weeb. Am I a weeb? I don't know. I might be a weeb. This is the only time I can't look at chat. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. I tried to avoid it and I still got hit. Bruh. Bruh. Come on. I didn't even know I hit that. Oh. You're right. I'm jelly. I think I'm a weeb, to be honest. Oh, if you're a weeb, then I guess I'm a weeb. I feel like you're not a weeb, but I don't know much, so. Ah! Let's go. Hey, Koji. Sometimes I guess I'll start studying again. Hey. Never too late to study, Dinal. To start. Oh my god. Should I do the thing? You know what? I suck ass. I'm not gonna do the thing. Koji! Finally, after 5 whole new months, I got a new laptop. Nice! And also, I'm streaming around the time that you could be here. Then I asked myself, you're a weeb? I am a weeb? Oh, okay. Yeah, what's the purpose of studying Japanese? I don't know. What's the purpose of anything in life? It's for your own enjoyment, I guess. I don't know. Still time save, nice. No time save on this section, but it's not that bad. I wish I had people around me that wanted to learn. Yeah, just being around Japanese people will make you learn. I teach Japanese though, so that helps. Oh yeah, how's that been going? Bro, Koji, I've missed your witty jokes, man. I've missed them. I have not forgotten you. I usually don't stream at this time anymore. For those that don't know, I used to stream 8, 9, 10 a.m. in the morning, Eastern time. Actually, I don't know. I used to stream pretty early for like 8 hours a day. And then once I like started doing YouTube and all this other stuff, I streamed much less. And nowadays I stream 8 p.m. So the ideal thing is that one day I'm gonna be... Oh, that was so close to death. One day I'm gonna be streaming a lot of the day, so I could chill with all of y'all. My LLL sucks, alright? I need to get my Lava Land fixed. I need it fixed. I want to learn Japanese so just to flex, and the language seems cool. The language is cool. Why do we drive in parking lots and park in driveways? True. Because it's a lot for parking. I'm not going to do triple jump. I'm too much of a wussy to do that lately. Hey, we got the time save though. Why do we drive in parking lots and park in driveways? I don't know. What? I'll do triple jump next time. I'm sorry. I just want to go to Japan because I heard of the massage parlors and bathhouses. Yo, I have a great story. I went to Japan once. Well, I lived in Japan for 2 years. But I had a friend who wanted a massage, and he goes to like some pimp, you know, the Yakuza. It's like the gang in Japan. He goes to like some guy or some, no, I think it was like, I don't even remember. It might have been a guy or a girl. See, my lava line sucks. And he's like, yo, I want a massage. She's like, oh yeah, I'm giving massage. And he's like, okay, massage, right? He goes in and he gets goddamn like raped. No, I'm joking. He goes in and they're like, haha, you want the massage? And he's like, yeah, I just want a massage. And they're like, yeah, a massage, wink, wink. And he's like, no, I just want a massage. And then they just took all his money. He had like $200 in his, DNL, I saw that message way too late. I'm sorry. He had like $200 in his wallet and he gave it to the Yakuza. So if you ever want to get massage in Japan, just make sure you make sure you don't talk to the random people outside on the streets that are, you know, giving massages. Unless you want that type of massage, then it's okay. Then you do you, you know? Oh yeah, the bathhouses are great though. Onsen. I've gone to a lot of onsen. You get to see... I was gonna say something so stupid. I was gonna say you get to see naked children. You get to see... Which is true. It's not like, you know... It's cool. In Japan, like, no one really cares about being naked. Like, in a lot of European countries, I guess. Which is kind of weird, because Japan, it feels very isolated in the way that people interact with each other. In a lot of... in a lot of other ways. So I found it interesting that that they don't care about nudity over there. Never mind, I'm not going there now. What kind of massage? Just like sexual massage, you know? What's it? You know those porn videos? What is it called? I don't remember what it's called, bro. It's just I don't know exactly. I know it's something sexual, and he legit just wanted a massage. Ah! No. Ah! I've been screwing up MIPS way too much lately. Just ruining runs, bro. Oh, thank God. They actually have those massages? Yeah. You're making me not to move to Japan. Everyone's like, I don't want to move to Japan now. Listen. My friend is very naive. Not very naive. He's a bit gullible. He's a great guy. Actually an awesome guy. But, you know. It's kind of obvious sometimes when... I'll be honest. I don't know. I kind of thought it was a legit massage. But part of me is like, that's kind of sus also. He wasn't even drunk too. That's the funny part. Even with the screw up with the MIPS, it's better than my PB. Jesus. Happy ending. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, horse. What should I call you? Horses? Bro, concentrate. No, actually, I play better when I when I talk to you guys, because then I'm not overly like stressed on the game. So he didn't want the massage. Yeah, he didn't get the massage. I don't remember if he had a girlfriend at that time, but he's just not that type of guy anyway. Oh wait, Chris, do you know who I'm talking about? Liquided is a friend I made in Japan. You might know who I'm talking about, actually. Call me Great Overlord. Praise to his name. Okay, I guess I'll call you Jesus. Oh, you don't know who? Oh, I screwed up. You don't know who? Okay, I'm not gonna say. I don't know if they would want me to say, you know? That was bad. I didn't hear what you were saying. Okay, good. Don't worry about it. But he still paid? He didn't. He was forced to pay, yeah. They told him, give me all your money. And he took all his money from his wallet and gave it to them. It's the Yakuza, bro. Yakuza don't care, bro. It's like the mob. It's like the Italian mafia, bro. I don't remember if you know what the story is about, Chris. Great, I screwed that up. I screwed that up. Come on. Oh, it's going up. It's going up. No. Yes. Oh. That's going to be good, boys. That's going to be good. I usually have to wait there. Unless I die here. Yeah, I didn't die. Oh my god, get up. Imagine dying. Couldn't be me. Oh, that was so weird. Something like that happened. I think I know. Does it? Yeah, it starts with a J. You know, he knows who it was. He didn't get no massage. I know you could jump over Bowser here, but I have to practice it more. I don't do it well. So this is my method to getting Bowser's tail at the moment. Don't get pissed, Pink. What? 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 Teleport! 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 There we go. What a bad run. Oh, I don't know how that hit. What's the BPM? Oh, the beats per minute or whatever? It's 415 or 451. Dyslexia. I don't remember. It's one or the other. It's definitely one or the other. That's all I remember. Oh my god. That was bad. Minus 30 seconds. Just by getting that right away. Here. It's right here. 451. It's 451. 30 seconds saved. Yeah. I just screwed up a lot, but you're right. It is a good run for a PB. I heard there was a massage place near me. Some coworkers were like, let's go. Go, bro. Do it. No Yakuza in America. It's just Mafia. But Mafia's not that big anymore. Is that enough? That's not gonna be enough, right? I don't want to pay for massage. Fair enough. I'm not even gonna try that. That's not enough. Rico? Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah. And Rudy Giuliani in New York. For how much people don't like Rudy Giuliani, he's definitely the reason that New York's crime went down at the time. Oh my god, I'm getting so close. For how much of a gun he is, he did good there. Yeah. Yeah, I think what he was doing, I don't know, he changed a lot in a very weird way. Is that gonna make it? Please. That wasn't that good, but... Okay, that doesn't make it. I'll give him a pass. Well, you could talk about the good things someone does and the bad things, like, you know, exclusively. And the run's over. Bruh! I hate when the camera changes for no reason. Bro. I mean, for how much, I should concentrate on BLJs more than anything else, to be honest. By betray? Oh, I don't know if that's enough. I've been screwing up. Ah! I don't have the metronome high enough volume. Bro, okay. Can I reset, guys? That's it. I can't get a PB now. Going terrible, Fig. I forgot how to do BLJs every other day. We even figured out BLJs. I don't know. But we're just gonna practice at this point. We're gonna reset. I got no golds and it's not gonna be a PB, so resub the finger. I gotta take off my headset, bro, to hear the metronome. This is like the first time I've done BLJs, or like the 5th time. This is how it felt. Jesus. Yesterday I was try going as fast as you can. I'm trying to get the rhythm, to be honest. Because when I get the rhythm, my hands don't hurt as much. When I try to go as fast as I can, I feel like I age 5 years for every BLJs I do. Yeah, that might have gone through. But I'd rather get the rhythm, to be honest. I just want to get BLJs like here and then the infinite before resetting, because Jesus Christ. If that doesn't go through, I don't know what will. Well, I know what would, but Jesus. Yeah, I was gonna say, probably all the people who figured out all these tricks, it came with the realization that negative speed or whatever, right? That Mario can build up speed and like use that to glitch through the game. That's what most of the glitches seem to be founded on. You see? You get the rhythm? I didn't have to click that hard. Alright, let's reset though. Ears hurt. Boom. I've also realized that I've been resetting wrong. But how you doing, Seth? How's life been going? Oh, I'm an idiot. I had to go on a different profile because I saved. Whatever. We lost a few seconds there, but listen, I could get sub 24, sub 23. I could get close to sub 20 if I just did everything beautifully, but also my what's it called? My bit FS has gotten much better. So now I don't need to wait for the staircase and I save like 20 seconds. If when I do it well, which actually is insane. That's a lot of seconds. This is going to be the last run of the day, unfortunately, though. Because I have to do stuff and I'm going to be busy tonight. It's my cousin's bat mitzvah, which for Jews is like a celebration for turning 12 years old. So, that was bad. So I'm going to have to go to that. So let's hope this is a decent run. But yeah, BLJs I gotta take serious, but not too serious. My mentals have to be good. My mentals? I don't know. English is a hard language. Ugh. My mentality. If I get sub 23, I will gift 5 subs. I am not getting sub 23. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. That was shit. I don't even wanna. I thought bar mitzvahs were at 13. Bar mitzvah is 13, but bat mitzvah is bot. It's BAT, but oh my god, let me just do this. So it's fat. So I save that 1 second and I feel like I'm a boss. Bat mitzvah is at 12, bar mitzvah is 13. Usually bat mitzvah is not really, people don't care about bat mitzvah as much because people don't care about girls as much. But you know, we're caring, so that's cool, I guess. Because of that, I won't be able to stream tonight. Tomorrow will be fun though. I mentioned it earlier, but we're gonna have a collab stream. I'm gonna verse another streamer in a actually fun-looking game. No spoilers. I'm gonna announce it tomorrow on the Discord. Join the Discord if you're not there already. And yeah, after that, we're gonna go straight into Super Mario and try to get a PB tomorrow. And we're gonna start playing a lot more, I think, because we only have a week left for the challenge. For those that don't know, I'm trying to do monthly challenges with different games. So this month's challenge is beating this game in less than 20 minutes, sub 20 and get. And this is I've been playing every day, so this is day 20. I have 10 days left, and I'm getting a bit anxious. I know a new challenge you can do. Let me know what you're thinking. What's the new challenge thought? And next month's challenge might be GTA, but I'm still unsure about that. I've been editing a YouTube video that I haven't edited yet for a long time. It was like a Pokemon video. A Pokemon Nuzlocke video. So yes, I jumped over him. My PB right now is 25:13, but best possible time 21:14. I end up scoring up in like one or two. I end up screwing up in the Bowser throws for the last Bowser a lot. Like a lot. That's what I'm usually on pace for like 23 or 22 or 20, like between 22 and 24. And then Bowser throws like just screw everything up for me. Cause I guess I got nervous or I just screw it up. I don't know. But everything else is decent. Not good enough for sub 20 though, which is evident by the best possible time. Beating Breath of the Wild in under an hour. Is that really hard to do, Dino? I don't want to do speed runs only though. But I want to do stuff that can, to be completely honest, get me exposure and make this a living so I don't need to worry about that, you know? So that's why I thought GTA, like trying to get into No Pixel would be cool. And I think it would be fun to play with other people. That might have been good. I don't know. Yeah, that was good. I'm an idiot. Shit. Oh, that was good and I messed it up. Okay. That might be not enough. Shit. Not as hard as sub 2016 star, really? And is that like what people talk about? Like, not what people talk about, but is that like a good goal to go for, like sub an hour? I learned chain chop can't hit you while ground pounding, like how you face through the thumb. Wait, really? Oh, it's just an idea you can leave on the shelf for later. Oh yeah, honestly, I really like Breath of the Wild, so I wouldn't. That sounds like a good idea. I would be down to do that. In the future, for sure. Unless Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. Even then, I might do it. Okay, if I screw that up, that would have been weird, because I have not been screwing that up for a while. But yeah, GTA should be fun. Fun. What happened to my voice? VR is gonna be a thing one of these months. Music, making actual songs. I'm not that talented, but I have a piano, a guitar, and I could sing a little. Okay. I did get a fresh cut. That was a mistake, but it worked out. I did get a fresh cut. Thanks for noticing, bro. I had to get it for for the bat mitzvah tonight. Otherwise, I would have had. I would still have a lot of hair on my head. I look better, right? Sub hours is a solid goal, especially since it's super hard to beat Ganon with no upgrades. Ooh, oh, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. Definitely something I'll write down. I gotta remember to write it down, but definitely something that sounds awesome. Okay, that was good. I have to have more confidence with the way I move in this game. Like, I take way too many breaks, I feel. Oh my god. Wait, why did I do that? Oh, that was so weird. I thought I finished for a second in WF. Let's go. Oh, come on. Oh my god. The amount of speed he gains sometimes is so frustrating. You'll be fighting the 4 blights. Ooh. I've done that before. Ganon was so easy with, like, all the weapons and stuff. I expected him to be harder, to be honest. You see, you could tell how bad I am on bits by just seeing my best possible time now being still 21 minutes. Like, that's how bad I am at bits. That losing 30 seconds is like, okay. Well, I guess I screwed up on BLJ's last run, so I don't know. Let's go. Where are we going? Your mom's house. So funny. Also, my CCM is pretty bad because I screwed up the first first jump on my PB. So I gained time on this, which is nice. Which feels nice, I should say. Unless I screwed up on this, you know, during these runs. Yeah, but you'll be doing all 5 in a row without armor and whatever weapons you find in the castle. That's cool. Is there a lot of glitches involved with sub an hour ingot? Everything's routed, just very little room for error, but one successful run would be dope. I'll do it for you, Dinell. See, here I don't jump anymore because it changes the camera and then it screws me up. I'm gonna have to practice that in practice and figure out how to get that done better. Because jumping there could save me some time, obviously. You see? 20 seconds saved between that split and the previous one. I really hope I don't screw up BLJs this time. That was bad. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. I'm pretty happy. Do you guys like the collab streams? Those of you guys that have seen it. I try to do, for those that don't know, once a week collab streams. I try to collab with at least... Ah! I try to collab with at least one streamer a week. In 2 weeks, it's going to be pretty cool. I'm not going to say why, but it's because it's a secret, but... I have to learn the side flip there. I don't do it well. I think what I need, I think I need to improve time on this area. This is, I think improving time in this area will get me sub 20. Not right away, obviously. I still got to do better everywhere else, but. And my my movement has to be better as well. Because, like, I skipped this long jump thing. I'm always too scared to do it. I should practice it more during practice. I should practice more. Just this area. Because I definitely waste time doing it this way. No, I never accepted the sponsor. I wish I did. Well, I did, and then I canceled it, technically, but... I'm not diving there. Too scary. You are new. What's up, bro? How's life treating you? Jesus. You get sub 1 hour, you'll get top 300. Oh, wow. Sub 40's top 200, sub 30's top 100. I wanted to accept the sponsor, but I had no way to really... I spent a lot of time trying to set things up, and I had no way to... What? To really set it up, so... I tried to kick the air, but I was moving too quick. Imagine missing this. Couldn't be me, baby. Couldn't be me. Someone actually redeeming hi, I'm new. That's actually new. It's so beautiful. Oh my god. I hate when that happens. Why not bring the kitchen to your room? That would be really cool. Yeah, I didn't realize how hard doing... oh, I didn't lose as many seconds as I thought I did by screwing up that first throw. I didn't realize how hard it would be getting audio outside of my room. And then you would have to buy a lapel thing. So I was looking into like buying lapel microphones, which are the ones that stick to your like crotch. No, I'm joking. Stick to your clothes. But it just didn't work out, unfortunately. And then I wanted to use my brother's computer, but he's like very... he's very stubborn with personal stuff, with stuff that he owns. So... Which it probably comes from me, because I used to be like that. Which is... I'm not like that as much anymore. I hope I'm not like that anymore, but... yeah. To be honest, though, I wanted to do kitchen streams when I move out anyway, so... Because I don't like living... Like, living with family, it's nice and whatever, but, like, I don't like how much space there is. I actually like when I was living in Japan, how little space there was. Because it's easier to set stuff up, you know? And you never lose stuff. But anyway. Can I borrow your socks? Of course. Of course you can borrow my socks. Sounds really weird, though. I don't know why you want to borrow my socks. Nice. Thank you. Yeah, I've been getting the bird more often lately. I've spent so much time in the pyramid area. No! What the hell do I do here? I don't know how to do this. I'm not even going to try. No, it puts me all the way... Are you kidding me? That's right. I triple jump because of you, Dinel. Shut up. You're the one that tells me to do it. Oh my god. It's my fault, though. Might as well reset. My MIPS was pretty... Oh my god. Yo, why is the top right, like, always blocked? It's so stupid. What kind of socks? I'm wearing yellow socks. No, I'm not resetting. It's your fault, you know. I'm gonna triple jump. My A button didn't work. Fucking hell. Nice. Nice, Pink. Nice.
It's me, Mario.
Your fault, you know. Just kidding. Did you pee in your socks, horses? Because that's kind of hot. I'm an idiot.
It's me,
Mario. Rip, my bad. Nah, it's not your bad. It's my bad for not thinking before triple jumping. I should have thought about it more. My boss bought them for me. Oh. Kind of cool. I actually had a boss who gave me his tie. Which is cool. He was really drunk though. He's like, take my tie. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. Because he was leaving that like area. He's like, take my tie. I was like, what? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay. Took his tie. Lol, yup. Yeah, you too, right, Chris? I had a mom change my diaper. Was it your mom? They say das for boot. Oh, is that German? For Heil Hit? No, I'm joking. Not my mom. It's okay, I can make German jokes because I'm Jewish. That's how it works, right? Das für Boot. Do you speak German, King? And is High King of all horses a reference that I should know? You're Roman. Yo, that's sick. Wait, that means you're Italian, right? Why do you say Roman? Cringe. Yes, Lakitu. I've been watching a lot of history like videos lately. Why'd you make that face, bro? Oh, you don't want to be called Italian? I apologize. I've been to Rome. It sucks. No, I'm joking. Rome's pretty cool. Venice is beautiful, though. I freaking felt... I thought Venice was amazing. I'd probably get tired of it if I lived there, though. Wait, what are you talking about, Dinell? The bomb definitely hits you when you ground pound. It's happened to me before. Unless it's the third ground pound, I think. I love Rome. Yes. Italians are Germans. All of West Europe is Germanic tribes. Oh, sure, I guess, but... Chomp Chomp. Was that the Chomp Chomp? Yeah, I don't know. Not my mom, my mom's mom. Okay. I guess my grandma also changed my diapers. Do you want a cookie, bro? Woohoo! Woohoo! I have 1 AD energy. Oh. Wait, so did you meet Jesus? Jesus died in 4 AD, right? You are Jesus. Wait, I forgot. I apologize. That was very rude of me. Nice, nice jumping. I'm really bad at jumping to the tree. I guess because long jumps require... Oh, I almost went for the wrong star. Not that the order matters much for these 2 stars, but... That might be good. I don't know why I repositioned. But I think this is more certain. Let's go, baby. That's in. What? I suck ass. Bro, I was getting them every single try the past few days. You guys are bad luck. I'm just joking. Don't at me. Born 0, don't at... He died in 33 AD? No, he died in 4 AD. What are you talking about? People think he died in 0 AD because it's like before Christ, after death or whatever. But he died in 4 AD, no? I don't know, bro. We need you to suck more. I just did suck. What are you talking about? I'll suck your mom's mom. If you're okay with it, of course. Did I miss? Oh my god. That would have been really sad. You know what? I think that was enough. That's what I had last time. And then I repositioned and I missed. Yeah. He dies 33. AD means Anno Domini. Yeah, I know. Okay? I'm just saying people say before Christ, after death. Stupid Americans, okay? I know it means... I know it's Latin. I don't really remember what it is, but apparently it's Anno Domini. Let's go. Yahoo, baby. No Google in here. Whoever uses Google, leave the stream now. It's all about Yahoo. Check out my socials. You could see my YouTube channel. You could see my Twitch channel. You could see my mom's channel. Ano. More like Año. But good one. But Year of the Lord. Go get me poured. What rhymes with the Lord? Chord. Year of the Lord. I dropped. I don't know. 3 long jumps. 1 more. Oh, that would have been sexy. If I could get it that fast, I would be a freaking better player. I don't know why I always go for that red. Not always, but a lot of times I go for the red coin. Like it means something. Okay. Year of the Lord. Saving all the whores. No, that... The plural kind of screws it up. Year of the Lord. Saving my whore. I got a lot of pores. Oh, okay. Year of the Lords, saving all the whores. I got a lot of pores. I live in Concord. Ooh, bars. I got bars. Domini, like Dominio, or Domingo, or Domino. Doing my chores, year of the Lord, saving all the whores. Yeah, I don't want to say whores. It's a bad word. Oh, can I? I just bit my tongue. What is that face? Jesus Christ, I hope you don't look like that in real life. Or in fake life, even. my whiffs are doing bad. Open the door for the whore. What you do? Who she whore? Nah, you ruined it with the second line. Listen, I know what I'm talking about. Look, she's a bore. What? Open the door. Who for my whore? Look, she's a bore. The year of the Lord. I just lost 10,000 viewers for that. I'm getting canceled. What are you saying, bro? Let's go. How about blue go? You get it? Reds go, blue go. I missed. Oh my god, that was so lucky. That was lucky cocky, baby. That was luckier than, like, when I slept with your stepmom last night. Ugh. And now the luck ran out. I shouldn't have slept with her. Terrible. Terrible. Jesus. Here we go. I don't have a stepmom. Yeah, okay. Isn't Saint Mary? Don't you have a mom that didn't give birth to you, Jesus? Look at me. Couldn't ask for more. Look at me. Could have asked for more. Come here, little stupid penguin. No, 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 no. Get over here. We're not getting any good runs today, huh? Do we have enough speed? Yes, we somehow made it. I don't got a step, mom. I got a step. I got a step bomb. What? Here we go. Even with all that screw up, we're light blue, baby. Light blue. Blue is actually so much better than red. It's okay. I'm just happy to be here with you. It's kind of gay, bro. Nothing wrong with gay people, but I am not. Okay. I'm trisexual. Oh! I like dogs. What? What are you saying? How would Mary not give birth to Jesus? No, Mary... Well, isn't that the thing? I don't know. I'm Jewish, bro. I don't know. I've heard, and I still don't know if... Wait, you said you're Roman. Never mind. Yeah, you should know. Isn't it like a... Isn't it like a prank? Isn't it in reality that... Yeah, I thought she wasn't pregnant. I thought she was like Anakin Skywalker. Ooh, if I took that risk. I should have taken that risk. Stop, you know I hate the gays. Yeah, I'm sorry. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If you hate the gays, then join the club. No, I'm joking. Then you can never become mod. You must love... I don't know what I'm saying. Jesus. What was that? Yahoo! 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 Google! Yahoo! Yo, that was sexy. You can't even... Never mind. That was still pretty cool, though. Should I try it? I want to try it so badly. But I'm too much of a wuss. Wussy. We did that, though. The side flip definitely saves time. Oh. Huh? Did I miss one? What did I miss? Oh my... Are you serious? Bruh. Yeah. You see, that's the... I don't... Ah! I try not to read chat during when I do this part of the run, because anytime I do, I screw it up. So, but if I read chat, I would have saw that I forgot the coin. Thank you, Jesus. The run's not over, guys. That's how bad I am at this game. Okay, if I died there, I would have reset. I meant to get electrocuted. I like how it feels. I'm a masochist. Ooh, that was sexy. What do you mean there's no chance now? I'm gonna do the long jump trick. Okay. There's no chance now.
It's me, Mario. Hello.
Damn, I can learn to love everyone like our Lord and Savior. True. That's an interesting point of theology. Yes, I know. Wait, I could have sworn this was a thing. Wait. Jesus. Saint Mary. What was it? Saint Mary? I already forgot her name. Not pregnant with Jesus. Yeah, she was a virgin. Oh, she was pregnant. Oh, she just didn't have sex, yeah? Oh, she was pregnant. She just didn't have sex. Oh, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense. Prestar to pray. Prestar to pray. I don't want to pray. She was a virgin, but God just threw that thing in there. It's kind of hot, bro. Kind of hot. Such a weird. It's a me, Mario. Oh, there's an ad right now. I apologize. Apologize exception. What? Apologize accepted. Apology accepted. Bro, I'm going insane. This is the last run. I want a decent run. If I have to reset during this run, I'm resetting my life. Okay? In a video game, just kidding. If I have to reset this run, I'm ending stream. I gotta end stream anyway, so. I have to, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to end stream after this. No, not now. The run's not over yet. After this run. What if I get a PB of like sub 20 right now? If I get a sub 20 PB right now, I will scream and I will gift 100 sub. Okay, it's not happening. I missed Lakitu. Imagine. Imagine I just reset because I missed Lakitu. Lamau. Is it Lamau or Lam... Wait, it is Lamau. Wasn't Mao Zedong like a communist guy in China or something? Yo, Jesus, do I look Italian? Do I look like Sicilian? Because when I was in Italy, I feel like people thought I was Italian. And that made me feel cool. 'Cause I feel like Italians look really cool. Oh, it's Lameo. Lameo! That's hot. You could jump over the bomb guy. The choo-choo? What'd you call him? I keep forgetting what his name is. 12 seconds. Jesus. Here we go! You got a big nose. Damn! Because I'm Jewish, bro. I don't think I got a big nose. I think I got a... Unless you're talking about Mario. Not really an Italian thing? Oh. I don't even have a big nose for a Jewish person, okay? That's bullshit. Started playing Horizon, it's so hot. A lot of Italians have small noses. Oh. My nose used to be smaller, and then I fainted. Because I wasn't eating enough food. Little baby nose? Oh. Bro, I was about to ban you for being super racist against my kind. Just kidding. I don't care that much. Oh! And I know that's not what you meant anyway. Oh! I think. Well, I have a darker complexion. You might not realize it because of the lights in the room, but yes. Okay, that's what should be happening more often. Horizon is so hot. What does that mean, Tino? High King of all horses, or Hakoa, if I take your abbreviation. What? Do you play this game? Oh my god, bro, my jumping is not going. I think I've broken my A button. Or the way I press it is like bad sometimes. Or I'm just really good at making excuses to feel better about myself. One of those. Doesn't matter what you are, Roman's nose is small. Okay. Well, you know what small noses mean? Small nostrils. I almost said nostriges. Like an ostrich and a nostril. I don't know what I was going for there. Jump! Spin! Long jump. Nice. It's exactly what I tried to do. I don't know how I made that, but I'll take it. True. Less boogies, though. Do you pick your nose? Tell me the truth, bro. You could be truthful here. It's all friends and family here. I messed it up. Oh, I didn't even see it. Yeah, definitely. Okay, good. I'm not the only one. I don't do it on stream, though, because I feel like that's weird. Should I do it on stream for you guys? I mean, I could if you want. I try not to. I read online that it's bad to do, but there's so many cool creatures in Horizon. They have giant tank turtles and baby kangaroos. That is pretty cool. Everyone does in private. I don't know if everyone does, but I feel like there must... Do you think everyone does? You know, some people do it in public or like in front of me. Like, I don't ever want someone to feel comfortable enough to pick their nose in front of me. Like, no. That's not right. Okay? That's wrong. Ooh, that was actually good. Here we go! But it's bad for you to pick your nose, so I've been trying to do it less. Because I care about my health. Quick W. Yeah, this is going pretty good. I don't know if it'll be a gold. If it would be gold, that would be insane. In an hour to get a gold split, I would feel pretty happy about that. It actually might be a gold if I don't screw up Owl. Yeah, let's go, baby. Everyone shits and piss and picks their nose. Well, pooping and peeing are things that like have to happen for you to survive, right? I don't know if that's true, but most people do that because they have to. You don't have to pick your nose unless you do, and I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. But we got a golden split in a short stream. That's awesome. Yeah, I pick my nose. I was saying I'm trying to pick my nose less often. Do you pick your nose, Dino? Now everyone's picking their nose because I'm talking about it. That was actually kind of scary. Half the time I get scared I'm going to miss that. I still got to do it better, though. Nice. Nice ping. When I long jump, sometimes I screw the side flip after. At least once a day in the morning. What? Very specific way of picking your nose, but okay. I pick my nose every time I look at my crush on Instagram. I just imagine her being one of the boogers, and then I eat it. I'm just joking. I don't do that. That's really weird. I feel like saying weird stuff today. Oh, we got the penguin. I feel like my nose is stuffy and I gotta clean it. Yeah! And the more I talk about it, the more... Watch. Half of you guys are gonna start picking your nose now if you haven't already. Tilt stream? I'm not tilted. But what do you mean? What are you talking about? Hopefully I don't miss any coins now. Or die. Nice. Nice movement. Why did the colors change? Did someone host me or raid me? What just happened? Oh, someone hosted me. It didn't pop in on the There's no notification, but thanks for the host, whoever hosted me. What's up, Wiener? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. What's up, Jared? How you doing? Oh, it's because of the... Ah! Stop talking, Ping! It's because of the streaming times. I felt so good doing that. Also, everyone farts. Not everyone farts. Women don't fart, okay? Girls don't fart. I was talking to this one girl and she agreed everyone does it once a day. What? If I died there, I would have punched myself in the face. You've been busy the last few days. Ah! Yeah, I read all of your stream announcements. If that makes you feel nice. Oh my god! That was beautiful! I never feel like I never feel like I have to like turn off notifications for your stream announcements. Because they're or your announcements in general. Nice, nice, Pink. Because they're very sexual a lot of the time, and I enjoy that, you know. Nah, I don't know. They're nice. They're nice announcements. Oh, sorry. This is the one time I can't look at stream. Because every time I do, I die. Just in this area. I apologize. Oh my god. You know what? We'll do the long way. Okay. What's up, Wiener? They queef? Oh yeah, girls do queef. That is true. I don't know how many of them. That must feel good, doesn't it? Wait, can guys queef? Okay. Can you jump? Yo, I am not good at the stairs thing. Sometimes I feel like a goddamn beast at it. Oh, that was so scary. I love that so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. I think a lot more people read them than you think. It's just not everyone reacts, I think. I really do try to make them fun each time. Nice little inside joke for the people, you know? Yeah, it's great. Don't stop it. Not true. I was with one girl with a big butt and she farted. And my heart skipped a beat. She didn't fart, bro. She just, she made a noise that sounded like a fart noise to make you feel better about you farting. Girls don't fart. Beef is a pussy fart. Yeah, I know that. What, you think I don't know that? I'm a cultured individual. So no, you can't. Oh, yeah, you have a good point. I didn't think of that. She was laying on bed and saw a butt jiggle. Damn. You're making everyone excited here that likes women. Don't do that, you know. Don't do that. Because I want to be excited on stream. Feels so weird right now. I miss her. Every stream you say that. Oh, you miss this specific girl, yeah? With the big booty? Don't... Hey, think about unicorns. Think about Jared. Think about Upset Trisket being a cool guy. Think about... Think about Jesus. Don't think about her, bro. You deserve better, but you'll never get it. No, I'm joking. I just wanted to say that. Will we get it? Will we get it? Of course we good. I'm a goddamn god, baby. Yeah, think about Jared. Jared, how's your job going? Were you making that big money? Damn it, I always screw this up. I've never seen anyone use that emote until you started using it in my chat. Horses. Is it your emote? I feel better. Joking, you'll never have it. Feel better. Joking, you'll never have it. Oh, snap! We need more Jared. Jared is awesome. For sure. For shizzle my nizzle. I'm not doing a triple jump. F you, Dino. Did I change the thing by accident? Tired about this last week, but the money. Can't wait for those checks. Let's go. Let's go! Good. Make more money so I could beat you at more games and steal more of that money. Ooh, that was actually good movement, I was gonna say. And then I died. I don't know how to do this properly. Oh my god, that was terrible. Eat ass. Maybe I will. Say that again. 18 is your crush. 25 is who you end up with. I did have a crush at 18. And I'm almost 25. Let's go. I'm going to become a huge streamer. And then one of the Wagman streamers is going to be like, oh my God, can I have your clout? And I'm going to think we're going to be in love, which is just using me for clout. And then we break up a year later. And she tells me, thanks for all the viewers. And then I get depressed and I don't stream ever again. And then, yeah. We're going to play some stuff again soon. Hell yeah, baby. I mean, Mario times. Oh. 18 is your crush, 20... Wait, what? What do you mean Mario times? Oh, 18 is your crush, 25 is who you end up with. I get it. But, you know, that saying could apply to many things, I guess. I don't even know if that's a saying. It's a saying now. Bro. Ah! The stupid bat is distracting me by flying around. I'm triggered. I can't. Bro, this is like the first time I ever tried to do the side flip. Oh my God, bro. If I fell there, I would have punched the wall. We need a Mario Kart stream next month with the new tracks. Wait, it's coming out next month? Oh, for sure then. I've been wanting to do a Mario Kart tournament, so it sounds like a good time to start it. Nice, nice. Mario's so scared, he frickin'... Oh my God. I literally lost my lead just by... This game is so crazy, bro. English, hard language. Literally. Ah! That makes me so mad, actually. We have time save in the next 4 levels. No, you're right, you're right. We can play for next, so many people are probably going to want to play. We can play for next. Oh, yeah, I'm going to ask. So the plan... Oh, my God! Thank God. Thank God, bro. We can play for next, so many people are probably going to want to play. Yeah, I think I definitely want to do I want to do it with streamers so that the winners have to gift subs to the losers have to gift subs to the winner. I think that would be fun. Like 1 sub and then 2 sub and then 3. So it'd be a total of like $30 or something, nothing too crazy. But the winner would obviously make like a good amount of money. It would just be fun also. But I like the stakes being there, you know? That was my idea. I would have to set it up. It would take a while to set up. I'm really concentrated on other stuff now, but I really do want to do that. And then I'll do one with viewers, obviously, a tournament. I think that would be cool. Ugh, you and your gambling edition. Well, I mean, okay. We could do stakes in other ways. I just did a collab stream last week with someone. Oh my God, that was a huge lag. And the stakes were, what's going on? Game, don't crash. Jesus. The stakes were literally shaving your head, going bald. And he lost, so he had to shave his head. And I was kind of sad because I wanted the content of shaving my head. But would you shave your head for me, Jared? Or not for me, but for the loss? It doesn't need to be money. Perfect MIPS? No, that MIPS sucked ass. You mean all 5 segments? Gotcha. Nice. Nice pink. I'll read chat in a moment. Okay, that was actually not bad. Poor Bosa. Nah, he lost. We could do some dumb stuff like drawing on ourselves, dye hair, paint nails. Yeah, we could do that too. Stuff that... Yeah, that's true. If I ever go bald, I will video game myself. I'm definitely going bald by the end of the year. I dyed my hair last year. Once a year, I gotta do crazy stuff. I don't have to. I just want to. And I feel like it would be fun content, good content, and just fun. Okay, good. I have enough hearts. I could save a lot of time. And I screwed up. Okay. I could save a lot of time if I don't screw this up. I'll reach chat in a moment. I screwed it up. No, I screwed it up. Tattoo sub goal. Yo, tattoo is something permanent. Obviously, you could get a tattoo off, but tattoo is on another level. I'd have to think real hard before getting a tattoo. Part of me is like, who cares? But then another part of me is like, when I'm really old, it's gonna look like shit. But then another part of me is like, who cares what when I'm really old, all of me will look like shit. So who cares? I don't know about that, but possibly. I don't even know if I have to do Bowser like that. I gotta practice this. I think I could do it without hitting that twice. That too if I donate $1 million. I don't even know, man. $1 million? Yeah, I'll do it. Mario Kart, but last place dyes hair. That would be cool. I want to dye my hair blonde, actually, because people said I look decent blonde. Oh, I thought I just died. And I feel like that would be cool. Thank God I didn't miss. I have some friends who would hook me up with a tattoo session. Hey, that's cool. It depends on the tattoos. True. If it's like a dot, I'll do it, you know? If it's like a dragon and it's like huge. If it's like a penis, you know? It depends on the tattoo. How did I save so much time? Yeah, that was a huge thing. Stay in Elliot. Yeah, exactly. That MIP saved 50 seconds. Yeah, because my MIPs during my PB was really bad. Shit. I was trying to get the next part ready. Yeah, I gotta concentrate here. I have a filter. I could show you what I would look bald. I'll do it after this run. But it's kind of funny. Oh, please tell me that goes through. Please. All right, have a great... I'm going to end stream soon, but... Yes, it went through. What? But thanks, bro. Thanks for popping in. It's always nice seeing you. Have a great one, and I hope your stream is great. Yo! Yo, let's go. You thought it didn't work? Nah, it worked, bro. Oh, I couldn't pause, bro. I lost a few seconds for not pausing because I'm an idiot. Oh, if I died there, that would have sucked ass. Whew. This might be... I mean, this happens quite a bit on the stream. For those that don't know. Yeah, what ruins these types of runs are throwing Bowser. Oh, that was sexy. Oh, I recovered! Yo, Shadow, what's up? Thanks for the sub the other day, by the way. I don't know if you saw me thanking you, so thank you. How you doing, though? This is... Oh, my God. Do you guys think I should start stream a bit earlier? Ah! Oh my God, if I died there. I didn't see. Oh, well, I gave you a big thank you. Hell yeah, look at these goddamn muscles. Freaking sexy. This is what you get when you work out. Also, watch this. I wouldn't mind earlier streams. Okay, cool. Yeah, I Oh my God, bro. Did you guys see that recovery? Oh. I am not taking the risk here. I am not taking the risk. I'm too much of a dumbass. Nope. No risk for me. Jesus. Bruh. Okay, it's okay. We're back. I thought you'd actually flex. It was a supplement for hydrates. I can't flex. There's nothing to flex. I could try if you want, but... Jesus, how'd I miss that? But give me a second. Okay. Please hit, please hit. Yes! What? Okay. Please hit the other one. Shit. Now time to lose the stream. True. I might end up streaming early. I'm gonna put a thing on Discord to see if people would rather me stream earlier or not. That's good. Could still be a PB, I think. That's good. Let's go. PB. Let's go, baby. Let's go. That's going to be a sub 24. Hell yeah. Oh, feels good, man. Let's go. Go. Hell yeah. I did not expect that. I messed up so much, too. Oh my god. Oh, we got a gold in WF
Good
though.
job, beautiful.
Thank you, Dinell. Yes, let's see what the best possible time is now. 21:03. We're so close to sub 21. Wait, we saved like 8 seconds in WF. That was literally all from movement. Oh my god, I could improve so much. I didn't realize how bad I was at movement. What the hell? I mean, I realized, but I didn't know I could improve on it so easily. I would stream, but since I don't have my car and I gotta pay back a debt, gaming should be the last thing on my mind. True. True. You got this though, Blake. Improve on the LLL. Yes, very true. I could save a lot of seconds on Lava Land. I wanna keep playing. But I do have to go. I have to go. I gotta give the guy I hit 1100. Shit, that's a lot of money. Don't sub to me for a while, man. You need practice on DDD. I need practice on everything. My DDD could be definitely better. Since I'm stuck at home today, maybe I should stream. Do whatever makes you feel better, but that's not too big of like a time disadvantage, I guess. You always mess up on the jump. I do. You're right. By the way, look at this. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers on the Shorts channel. You know how many shorts I've been putting up? I've been putting up... Wait, I don't want to leak my... Okay, never mind. I've been putting up... How many shorts have I put up? This is what takes a lot of my time lately. I've been putting up... How do you see how many videos you have? Analytics, maybe? I've been putting up a lot of shorts. 21, 24, 14. I was just putting on a lot. Let's just say that. Lamo how, but you barely... Nah, you didn't have to do it. Oh, to Rasquila! You don't have to do that, bro. That's so sweet. So sweet. Wait, I gotta play. The lights are going crazy for you, bro. Don't ever tell me not to sub. Yo, don't gift 1,000 subs. This is how I would look bald, by the way. Not too bad. Thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you for the gifted sub. Shut Actually decent run. Jesus. I don't want to end stream and I feels good, man. Yeah, Dinell, you're right. Maybe I'll stream one day on the Ping Pong Masters Shorts channel and see if people pop in and then try to get them to the Twitch. I don't know. mean, who knows? Maybe some people come to the Twitch from it, and they're just like lurking very heavily, or they don't tell me. Now walk away. Go home. Yeah, I gotta go now. I feel so bad. I don't want to leave, but I actually have. Whoa, Dinao. Kill your stomach? Yeah, my stomach is pretty killed. You're too sexy. Aw, you guys are so sweet, bro. I love you guys. I love this community. Even, you know, I don't know if I could call it a... I could call it a community, right? But yeah. Thanks for the support as always, guys. I'll sub again. No! Save up money for your car, bro. Don't stop. This has been nice to know you. What a way to end stream. Thanks for the sub, Shadow. Thanks everyone for popping in. Koji, it was awesome to see you. It's been super long. Jared, of course, awesome to see him. You know, freaking horses, awesome to see. You're pretty chill. You know, Dinell. Did I miss anyone? I feel like there were other people here. Blake, obviously. But yeah. You just made it harder to BB? Nah, but my best possible time is still 2 minutes difference versus my best time, so it shouldn't be too bad, to be honest. And I could see things I could improve on. But damn, I really don't want to end stream here. It's fun, but have a great one. I need ideas. Well, oh, you said you're already picking up extra hours at work. Try to be an English teacher? Oh, tutoring online is actually really good. Good night, guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow.